and A Hard Day's Night. And this film, it's more Paul McCartney's vision, but it's fun. Loads and loads of fun. Matrix trilogy. I like Matrix. I like Matrix Reloaded. Revolutions. I don't know what the fuck was going on in that one. This film is so relatable. Meet the Parents. It feels so relatable, even though I've never been in that situation. Like that awkwardness with the father-in-law. It's so funny. One of Robert De Niro's last really good films. Lars von Trier's Melancholia. This is fantastic. I think Kirsten Dunst is such an underrated actress because she's really good at what she does. And this is really good. I think it's part of that Depression trilogy that he has. I have Nymphomaniac coming up a little later, but this is really good. Memento, another one of Christopher Nolan's. Pretty solid. Love this film. Was lucky to get this release dirt cheap. The Complete Metropolis. It's one of the first sci-fi films out there. It's quite long, but really worth it. Got this in England, Midnight Cowboy, starring Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight. Saw it once, but it's fantastic. I read Misery and saw this movie a few times. Kathy Bates is just so excellent in this film. This is a really good adaptation of a Stephen King. Something that doesn't always happen, but this one is probably one of the top adaptations. Actually, it's arguable, but let's see. Here's another Stephen King adaptation, The Mist. I had no problems with this film. The ending, Frank Darabont, it's fun, pretty much all the way through. I haven't seen all of Charlie Chaplin's films, but Modern Times is fantastic. I love this film. This is something I saw in film class and something you could just watch anytime. I thought I had a slipcover for this one, but Moon is... Sam Rockwell is probably one of the most underrated actors going today, and he's fantastic in everything I've seen him in. He's great in this. This is a Duncan Jones film. Duncan Jones kind of messed up doing Warcraft after this, but this is excellent. One of the best sci-fi films I've seen. Guilty pleasure, Mortal Kombat, and Annihilation. Really, I enjoy it for a guilty pleasure because seen it in my childhood. I watched Legacy, which was kind of weird. I didn't love it. It's hard to say my top 10 films of all time, but I know number one is Mulholland Drive. This is an England release. It's beautiful. I think it's like a digibook, but it does not work in my country. Unfortunately, it doesn't work here in the States. It's a wonderful release though, but thankfully that same year, Criterion released Mulholland Drive. I love this film. I hated it when I first watched it, but then it became my favorite film of all time. I know they re-released this maybe once and they're doing a Criterion. I don't know if I'll get the Criterion just because I already have a copy, but I do love this film, Night of the Living Dead. It's a classic. Out of all the horror villains, Freddy's probably my favorite. Nightmare on Elm Street, all 7 original films. All of them, some of them aren't as good as the others, but all of them have something about it that makes it very, very worthwhile. The remake, it's okay. Rooney Mara's in it. That's probably the main reason I bought it. No Country for Old Men. I have not read this book, but I think the film is excellent. Javier Bardem is very creepily excellent in this film. One of the weirdest opening sequences you'll see in film. Tom Ford blew me away with this film. This is such a memorable film. It's not what you think usually. What's that guy's name? Aaron Taylor Johnson is really great in this. Okay, this is a stupid film, but it's such a guilty pleasure. Nurse 3D. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's so fun. So this is the other film in Lars von Trier's, I think, Depression trilogy, Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2 extended. It is 5.5 hours. It's not absolutely amazing, but it's worth a watch if you're a fan of his work. Office Space. It's a classic. Got this in England, Old Boy Steelbook. I actually really like this film. It's quite fun. Once Upon a Time in America. This is Sergio Leone's film, one of those Sergio Leone film. Not exactly. I don't remember watching this film. I remember parts of it. It was really long though. I did like it, but it's something I need to rewatch again, especially if it's a extended cut. I know a million people hate this film, but Only God Forgives is wonderful film. Nicholas Winding Refn, Ryan Gosling. This is like his follow up to Drive, and I love it. The Other Guys, one of my favorite comedies out there. I think Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg were great in this together. It's a shame that Daddy's Home doesn't really resonate with me because I do like that pair. I love The Wizard of Oz. Oz is great and powerful. Not the greatest thing, but I did like what they tried to do in like a sort of a prequel setting, showing how Oz got to the land of Oz there. This is shit. I'll admit I only have this because Rooney Mara's in it. This is horrible. Passion, in the red case. Brian De Palma film. Really like this film actually. Really enjoyable. I think it's still on Netflix. It might still be. Pretty good coming of age film with Emma Watson, Ezra Miller, and Logan Lerman. Really good film. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Here's what we were talking about. Kristen Stewart. She's fantastic in this film. Personal Shopper. It's one of the best films of 2017 actually. It's Criterion. Very happy it came out on Criterion. My favorite musical of all time is Phantom of the Opera. And they performed this at Royal Albert Hall. I actually saw it on Broadway and I loved it. Love this musical as well. Alright, getting down to the final two rows. So I have National Lampoon's The Ultimate Collection. I need to see if this works because I haven't tried it in this country, but I should. I like the first two, European Vacation and Regular Vacation. Vegas is alright. Same with Christmas Vacation. I'm not crazy about Christmas Vacation. Spartacus, the complete series. I love this show. This show really is so much fun. Same with Rome. Very similar show, actually. But this one's from HBO and probably better quality. I need to rewatch this. The Beatles one has a bunch of their music videos. I think all their number one hits. I did crack this in because I do love the Beatles. This is great. Alright. So tight here. Okay, so Phantom of the Opera, the 2004 Joe Schumacher version of the musical, which follows the musical quite closely, and it's great. It's actually really great. Love this film. Dario Argento's Phenomena. This release is excellent. This film is so good. It's Jennifer Connelly's in it in her younger days. Wonderful film. Great director as well. These are kind of a guilty pleasure. I like Pitch Perfect 1. I think Pitch Perfect 1 is really solid. Pitch Perfect 2, not so much. And 3 was just crap. I probably won't try to own 3 even. I do like Anna Kendrick. The Original Predator is one from my childhood. Love it. 2 and Predators, not bad. You might as well get all 3 in one. I think this is actually Christopher Nolan's best film, The Prestige. I love this film. With the twists and everything, I think it's great. This is before he was doing the Dark Knight trilogy. Pretty Woman, classic. Princess Bride, another classic. I held this up for so long, and once I saw it, I was blown away. Love this film. This is like a cheesy, kind of like an erotic horror, I think. Poltergeist. Not Poltergeist. Poltergeist. Night of the Chicken Dead. Pulp Fiction. They had a steelbook going around a few years ago. Did not get it. Regret it. But this is a classic. One of Quentin Tarantino's best. Road Trip. Very funny. Really like this film. The Reanimator. It's from a H.P. Lovecraft story, I think. Yeah, it should be. Really good film. One of the One of the more memorable horror films I've seen, like from the 80s, earlier decades. The Reader. Kate Winslet won an Academy Award for this. I did like this film. It's one of those that I kind of need to rewatch, and I just saw it in the store, and I was like, hey, I remember liking this film, then buy it. One of Darren Aronofsky's best, Requiem for a Dream. This film blew me away. Still does when I watch it. It's a haunting score. Roman Polanski's Repulsion. This film is great. It's excellent. Love that it's on Criterion. He has a lot of great films. I'm not sure which one is my favorite. Probably Rosemary's Baby. Or Carnage. Got this recently. I only had Resident Evil, the second one. Was it Apocalypse? Because that's the only one I really liked. But I just splurged on this. It's a steelbook and it has all of them. I mean, the first one's alright too. Don't really like the rest. Reservoir Dogs. For a long time, this was my favorite Quentin Tarantino film. It still probably is. I'd have to make a list. It's hard because there's so many good films that he's done. I've been a Room fan for the ages. Like, I love The Disaster Artist. Tommy Wiseau. This guy is, he's a mystery. But this film is just so bad, but it's literally so good. I'm so happy I have this on Blu-ray. Rope. I think this comes in that Alfred Hitchcock set that I had earlier. But this is wonderful. It has it's like compiled of long takes and shows how innovative Hitchcock was in his early days. Rosemary's Baby. Probably my favorite Roman Polanski film because it's fantastic. Love this film. Here's the other Wes Anderson film that I own. Royal Tenenbaums. This is a lot of fun. Love this film. Can't even deny it. I don't remember if this film was that great, but I do like Dakota Fanning. Love The Runaways. Have that. I think Paul Walker's best film, Running Scared. So many fucking F-bombs in this film, but it's a good thriller. Rush Hour Trilogy. All of them are good. Need to rewatch them though. Saw this one in film class, and this is where I started loving Todd Haynes. Safe is so good with Julianne Moore. Excellent film. Steven Spielberg's war epic, Saving Private Ryan. The scenes of D-Day in the beginning. Some of the best war film scenes ever shot. Have Scarface on Blu-ray. It's a good film. It's not Brian De Palma's best, but it's a good film. No denying that. Got this one from England as well. Schindler's List. I'll try to rewatch it someday. Love Scream. I have Scream, Scream 2, and Scream 4. I don't own 3 because I'm not that crazy about 3. I know they have like the first 3 on a Blu-ray, but I might upgrade. But I do love those films. Secretary. It's a pretty fun film with Maggie Gyllenhaal and James Spader. 7, another digibook, nice one. Also, controversially, not David Fincher's best, I don't think, but it's good. It's great. Same here. This one's great. It's excellent. Blake Lively really stole the show on that one. She's like in it for the bulk of the time, anyways. Shame. This is a really good film about a man with sex addiction. Michael Fassbender, Carey Mulligan, Steve McQueen. Probably the only film I own by him. It's really good. Shutter Island, Martin Scorsese reuniting with Leonardo DiCaprio. Fantastic. Was blown away by this when I first saw it. Steven Soderbergh's Side Effects. Love this film. Obviously it has my favorite in it, but it's actually a really solid film. Not perfect, but fun. Silence of the Lambs. Rewatched this recently. Very good. Silver Linings Playbook. Jennifer Lawrence won for Best Actress in this, and I think it's a very fun film. David O. Russell does impress me from time to time. I need to get American Hustle, actually. Simpsons movie, a lot of fun. I have seen every episode of The Simpsons, but the first 10 seasons or so are probably the best, and the movie was nice. Got this from England, nice red case. Sin City, Robert Rodriguez. This is a fun film. The sequel isn't bad, but I haven't ever felt the need to own it. I probably will at some point. Another England import. I love Emily Browning. This film is, it's questionable, but it's fun. It's good. Sleepy Hollow. I'm actually not that big a fan of Tim Burton either, but Sleepy Hollow is probably his best, actually. Another Sofia Coppola film with Elle Fanning and Stephen Dorff. This is Somewhere. Really good. I have the original Spider-Man trilogy because I really like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. People shit on 3. I mean, 3 is bad. 3 is not that great, but it's still fun. I like it. This was probably 1 or 2 of my only blind buys in my collection, and Spring was terrific. So I really recommend this for film lovers and horror lovers. I hated this film when I first saw it, but rewatched it. You know, I can see some appreciation for it. James Franco, very memorable in this. Another great David Fincher film, The Social Network. Still not his best. I'll show you what I think is his best later on. Song to Song, love this film. Terrence Malick, I love this Terrence Malick style in this, and of course Rooney Mara's in it. Ryan Gosling's in it. It's a wonderful cast. This one really works for me. Love it. Big Star Wars fan. I have a Rey cardboard cutout there. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. The original trilogy, you know, it is what it is, but this one has Darth Maul, which is the reason to love it. This is probably my least favorite in the series, Star Wars: Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith is alright because we get to kind of see the formation of Anakin turning into Darth Vader. A New Hope, fantastic. Empire Strikes Back, really good. This is actually probably my favorite in the series, Return of the Jedi. Love it. Of course, I've got The Force Awakens. I have 2 versions of The Force Awakens. I regret getting this one though, because these Target digibooks are really flimsy. I don't love that edition, but I love the film. Rogue One, really good film as well. I will get The Last Jedi, obviously, when it comes out. Star Trek Steelbook, love this film. J.J. Abrams did a good job with it. Last Row, Suspiria. Got this recently. I think the same company that did Phenomena did this. I think they're called Synapse. Yeah, this is fantastic. It's a steelbook. It's a wonderful looking steelbook as well. Look at this. Well worth the money. It's a really good film. So colorful. Got this from England. Probably my favorite director. I love Lolita, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, The Shining, Full Metal Jacket. I need to see again, and I love Eyes Wide Shut as well. It's a really good box. It's worth every penny. Terminator Collection. Love this series. Terminator 2 is probably one of my favorite films of all time. One from my childhood. Love it. So hopefully my camera can handle all this. This is a long video. Star Trek Into Darkness. It's a good sequel. A lot of people hated it. I thought it was alright. I didn't like this one as much, but look at this steelbook. The steelbook is excellent. Star Trek Beyond. Stoker. Picked this up recently. Rewatched it recently. It's a good film. I like Mia Wasikowska. Nicole Kidman's pretty good in this as well. Straight Outta Compton. Really solid biopic. It kind of unfolds at the end, but it's worth it. I do like NWA. Sunset Boulevard. Fantastic film. Just so great. Here's the other. It's another Danny Boyle film. Sunshine is so good. One of the top sci-fi films I've seen. It's wonderful film. His best film, I think. Oh man, I actually don't like this film a lot. I like the soundtrack and I like the action pieces, but I think this is a very weak film from Zack Snyder, and this is probably what we should have used as evidence of Zack Snyder like fucking everything up later in life, because Justice League was horrendous. Oh, another film. I actually hate this film as well. I got the steelbook for this and kind of regretted it, and was thinking about like breaking the disc and saying, "Oh, it came broken. Let me return this shit and get my money back." This is a horrible film. Steelbook's alright. Not gonna deny that. Funny film. Take Me Home Tonight. Really like this film. Topher Grace, Anna Faris. It's like a tribute to the 80s. Taxi Driver, steelbook. Look at this. Excellent. Might be my favorite Martin Scorsese film. Favorite Robert De Niro performance as well. No Shame. I'm a Taylor Swift fan, so this is her Journey to Fearless. It's like a. It follows her through her Fearless tour. And Speak Now. This is like a live version of her second tour. I wish she would release more of her newer tours, newer albums. But I have whatever she's done. This is falling apart. Alright, so the 10 Commandments. Really long film. Cecil B. DeMille's 10 Commandments, but it's really good. I don't usually end up liking these kind of epics, but this one's fun. I have, like I said, I have the Terminator Anthology, which comes with the first 4. Rise of the Machines, I don't love. Salvation is alright. Not too bad. I like it more than others do. I love this steelbook. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. It's one of my favorite films ever. This film, actively shit. I hate this film. But I have all of them, and this was just one of those where let me just complete the collection kind of thing. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the original one. They did this one in a Blu-ray that's big, kind of like that Marilyn Monroe one I had earlier, and I don't like the bulky nature of it. Like, it would just look weird in the collection, so I didn't get that one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake with Jessica Biel, which is still fine. It's a fine film, no problem with that. God damn it. The Thing, Scream Factory. I think this was my first Scream Factory, and it's fantastic. This film is just great. John Carpenter is a great director. Titanic, a classic by James Cameron. James Cameron's responsible for a few great films. This is fun. I'm not gonna shit on it like other people do. Original Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a classic. The Town on steelbook. Probably Ben Affleck's best directed film. Actually, yeah. It's about a heist, bank robbers. Really good. Okay, I do like the first Transformers. Michael Bay. The steelbook's actually really nice though. Yeah, I like the first 2 Transformers. Think they were fun. The third one I don't like as much, but it's like, all right, I'll get it. Steelbook looks nice. 4, Age of Extinction and Last Night are horrendous. I would never want to own those. Never would want to rewatch it again because I have no fucking idea what's going on in those films. Tree of Life, another Terrence Malick film, which is similar in nature, like similar to Song to Song, and this is better. This is really wonderful film. I love it. It mixed viewers. Like, some of them didn't like it, most of them didn't like it, didn't understand it, but I think it's a cinematic experience. Wonderful one at that. Troll 1 and 2. Rewatched Troll. I actually watched Troll for the first time recently. Not bad. Troll 2 is very bad, but it's so bad it's good. Kind of like The Room. And I love Troll 2. Truman Show. One of Jim Carrey's best films. The Truman Show gets you thinking. Really great film. True Romance. Love this film as well. I think it's directed by Tony Scott, but written by Quentin Tarantino. And this was hard to get on Blu-ray. Holy shit. But it's wonderful. I love this film. Also love this film. Probably Marion Cotillard's best performance. 2 Days, One Night. It's a Criterion. Wonderful film. Two for the Road, another Audrey Hepburn film. Love this film as well. Under the Skin. Scarlett Johansson in one of her better performances. Yeah, this is a really good film. Nice sci-fi film. Much like the Resident Evil collection, I also got the Underworld. I used to have just the Underworld first steelbook. Sold that one to get the entire collection, despite the fact that I only like the first one. I mean, I like Kate Beckinsale as Selena, but I only like the first one. Still have all of them. Whatever. VHS. Quite like this film. The sequels did not live up, but this was a nice anthology. V for Vendetta. Fantastic film. Read the comic. Love it as well. I mean, graphic novel. Love it as well. This is really good film. Solid horror. Vacancy. Kate Beckinsale, Luke Wilson. You know, pretty cool. Another Criterion I'm glad to have. Valley of the Dolls. Not a perfect film, but it's got beautiful women in it. Pretty good film. Rewatched this recently because I couldn't remember my first watch. Very interesting film, interesting concept. Yeah, it's a good film. Vanilla Sky. David Cronenberg. I don't have as much Cronenberg as I want to because I do want to own The Fly and some of his other work. But Videodrome. I love Existence, but that is so hard to get on Blu-ray. I'm waiting for it to get re-released somehow. Love that film. Videodrome is also excellent. Love this film. Criterion Collection. Got this fairly recently. Rewatched it recently as well. It's a really good film. Another Audrey Hepburn film, probably one of her better ones. She might have been like nominated for an Oscar for this or won it. I don't know, but this is a wonderful film. Wait Until Dark. A lot of people probably don't know about it. I recommend it for any real cinema lover. Zack Snyder will always have one really good film in his collection, and I think it's Watchmen. I know a lot of people hate this film. I don't really care. I love the graphic novel. I think this film was an excellent like page by page adaptation, apart from like changing the ending a little bit, but this is great. Like, fuck the haters. I don't really give a shit. Got this because I like Wedding Crashers. I do think Horrible Bosses is funny. Hall Pass I don't like, and Dumb and Dumber just comes with it. I mean, Dumb and Dumber is alright, but I'm not crazy about it. I really got this for Wedding Crashers. Love this film. Sam Rockwell, of course, very consistent in this film, the way back. Really good film. Whiplash. Picked up the steelbook recently. Love this film. J.K. Simmons is excellent in it. I think it was the best film of once again whatever year it was, 2014 maybe. Deserves more praise. Damien Chazelle before he did La La Land. Original Wicker Man is actually a really solid horror film. Very enjoyable. Wicker Man remake is the reason why Nicolas Cage is what he is. He's always in B-movie shit. He's really quotable in this film. Like, this is so bad. It's another so bad it's so good kind of film. I do like it though. A film from my childhood, Digibook, a wonderful looking Digibook, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I hated Tim Burton's redo of it with Johnny Depp, but this is a nice release. Love this film. One of my favorite films of all time, Wizard of Oz. If there's like a steelbook out there, I would try to get it. But I absolutely love this film. Everything about it. Wonderful film. I don't have all the X-Men because I don't like all the X-Men. I like X2 X-Men United. Saw this one in theaters when I was in 8th grade, and I like this film. I liked, Matthew Vaughn's redo with his, what's it called? Reboot. Like, not reboot, but like prequels kind of. X-Men First Class is good. I like Fassbender as Magneto. Days of Future Past is also pretty good. Apocalypse I don't like as much, but I do like the steelbook. It's not a bad film. Something fell out here. Young Frankenstein. Mel Brooks film. His best one. So funny. Zero Dark 30. I really like Jessica Chastain. Love her in this film. Actually love her in Molly's Game as well. Might get that one on Blu-ray. Let's see. Last film in the collection is what I think David Fincher's best film, Zodiac. This is so good. It's a wonderful, wonderful film. It's everything about it is just keeps you on the edge of your seat. This is a well done news drama. Everything about it is just great. So that's my collection. I'll be adding more soon.